For a good example, we're going to examine the introduction of Ruffalo Hulk from Avengers 2012. This scene introduces Bruce Banner, and explore this scene in 2012's Avengers, where Black Widow has been sent by Nick Fury to fetch Bruce Banner. As we go, it's important to remember that this scene openly says quite a bit, but doesn't flat out tell you everything. When this movie was written, Marvel trusted its audience to pick up on some context. The first thing we see about Banner is that he's treating poor people, and we're introducing a hero here, and we already see his Doctors Without Borders game is flawless. A little girl gets his attention, clearly desperate for his help. As she's leading him to a house, we see him stop her from getting run over, but also turn away from the military vehicle that's passing by. He's watching out for the little girl, but also clearly worried about authority for some reason. This is the kind of nonverbal subtext that makes a good scene. We get inside the building and the little girl runs off, but Banner takes it in stride, which is when Natasha speaks up. Now we see a couple of interesting things happening. First, Banner's not surprised to see this obvious agent here, but he is nervous. He's fidgeting with his hands the entire time. He's looking in every direction. He tells her it's smart that they brought her to the edge of the city and leaves off what we, the audience, know. This is because he will do less damage here if things go sideways. He's paranoid. He asks Natasha if the building is surrounded while looking all around out the window. Now we start to learn more things about Natasha than the previous scene. She not only bribed the little girl to lure Banner to the house, but also lies to his first question about the house being surrounded. As we'll see, when he asks if all spies start as young as the girl, she says she did. Now, Johansson's acting is great, showing just enough regret and humanity to connect with the audience and Banner. While telling him the house isn't surrounded, she says, "We're all alone," while tossing aside her one shawl. Now we've already learned that she's been a spy all her life. Her first move is allure, and she lies to get what she wants. Pretty classic secret agent stuff. But all in just a few seconds. We get a little back and forth between them, and Bruce is clearly cagey, and he's not responding to romantic advances. So she just gets blunt, explaining about the Tesseract and how Fury wants Banner to find it. She's trying to subtly manipulate him the whole time. First with her body, then telling him S.H.I.E.L.D. has been protecting him, then flattery, telling him he knows more about gamma radiation than anyone, and the world needs him. What's most important in this scene is what it tells us about Bruce's motivations and beliefs. In order to really connect with a character, we need to know exactly how they see the world. During their exchange, they're testing each other. Bruce asks if she's going to try to kill him and warns her that's not going to go well for anyone. He doesn't say this in an intimidating way, just a statement of fact, and one that he looks a little regretful about. These statements, him remarking on being at the edge of the city, his hiding from the Jeep, they all tell us that this character is afraid of himself and mistrustful of authority. He's afraid of what someone might do with him if he were captured, or what he would accidentally do to get away. He doesn't trust authority, but he does want to help people. This is the worldview and core belief of this character, and it informs all of his actions. This scene tells us all of this, and much of it doesn't come from the dialogue. Okay, so now the movie has told us out loud that Bruce knows more about gamma than anyone, but they need to show us that he's smart. He does this by calling all her bluffs, cutting her off mid-sentence, slamming his hands on the table and shouting, "Stop lying to me!" His move works, exposing her completely. She immediately grabs a gun from under the table, and he chuckles a little bit, looking a little embarrassed, apologizing for being mean to her. Now, of all the things going on in the scene, Scarlett Johansson is putting on some outstanding acting, managing to simultaneously look furious at him and herself for being exposed, looking ashamed for getting caught, and scared out of her freaking mind with the knowledge that the Hulk could come out any moment, and her two remains would likely be identified by random limbs that might be found afterward. Natasha calls off the soldiers outside, which we see were indeed surrounding the place. Bruce gets the last line of, "We're all alone, huh?" With very little dialogue, we've made Bruce look caring, smart, dangerous, and fully in control of himself and the situation. But he didn't need to pull a kitten from a tree, spout a bunch of scientific jargon, or destroy anything. We've also expanded on Black Widow as a secret agent who will do what it takes and adapt to the situation to handle a mission. All of this takes 4 minutes.